Hey guys, what's up? Dingo Crikey here with another Transformers commentary video. This is going to be number 9 in my Transformers 5 Q&A series. So for anyone new to the Q&A videos, these are basically like casual videos in which people will post questions about Transformers 5 and I just kind of give my thoughts on them. I'll mention them in the video as well, usually just kind of, predictions, speculations on Transformers 5, but as we're getting more and more news on the film, such as the face reveal of Optimus and the title, probably going to be discussing more stuff that may end up being a little bit more relevant to the final product of the film. And in any case, thanks for all of the questions, and if anyone has any other questions you'd like to hear discussed in a future Q&A, feel free to of course drop them off in the comment section below. Anyways, the first comment for this video comes from user Brain Freeze Lasers. His comment reads, "Also, didn't notice till you said he had paint splashed on him. Could be that the paint on a bot that isn't Optimus but looks like him or made to look like him. And is it just me, or does his face kind of look like the Decepticon logo?" So thanks for the comment, definitely some interesting ideas. As far as his face looking like the logo, I can see where you're coming from in regards to this. I mean, his face looks pretty similar to how Optimus's face usually looks, but with some of the design changes, such as the faceplate area being a little bit more narrow, sort of like the point that goes down on the Decepticon symbol, the way the vents are curved on the sides of his face, yeah, I could see somewhat of a resemblance. Also, you have the way his eyelids look with his eyebrows, kind of like those two lines above the eyes on the Decepticon symbol, and even the way this picture cuts the forehead, it looks a little bit similar, especially that piece in the center. I personally think it's an interesting idea. I don't think it's the case. I think any similarities are kind of a coincidence, and even some of the potential similarities, there's a little bit of a stretch in my opinion. Yeah, you can see him there, and I could be totally wrong. Maybe that's what they're going for, just to kind of create a subtle similarity. I don't think that's the case. For one, just me, I'm not really seeing a strong resemblance. This isn't like Lockdown's face with the Quintesson symbol. I didn't initially notice that, but someone pointed out to me. I actually did a video a while back on it, and I do think that was intentional, because if you look at his forehead, the way his mouth is structured, his eyes, in my opinion, it looks very similar to the Quintesson symbol, and I think that was sort of an homage to the Quintessons and the fact that we may see them in the future films. In this case, I'm not seeing the resemblance as being that strong, and also kind of with, Lockdown being to homage the creators, I don't see why Optimus's face would look like a Decepticon symbol, as if even if he was to go evil, I don't think he would be joining the Decepticons. Even if the creators were to turn him evil, from what Lockdown has told us, we aren't given the impression that the creators really take sides. They think the whole war is petty, so I don't really think it would make sense if Optimus is going to be turned evil by the creators, and I don't see the Decepticons doing that. Now, I will say, with the purple eyes, it does make a little bit more sense. Anyways, that's just my own thoughts on it. As far as the face paint, I think that's kind of a cool idea. Now, I'm not thinking it's a guy who, literally paints himself like Optimus. This might not even be what the other character's final design, let's say it's Nemesis Prime, this might not even be what his final design looks like, but maybe it's just to kind of tease that idea that we're going to have someone who is, so to speak, metaphorically, painting themselves to be Optimus, and is actually not that character. Now, if the eyes are blue, I would just say there's something funky with Optimus's colors, but being that Optimus's eyes are purple, maybe they are trying to give us that hint that, they're saying this is Optimus, but there might be something more than meets the eye here. It's a bit of a stretch. As far as advertising goes, I think it would make a pretty cool metaphor. This could just end up being Optimus, but I do think for me, and from what I've seen a lot of people have been saying in the comments and stuff, the purple eyes are really strange. Anyways, thanks for the comment. The next one comes from user J Rodimus. His comment reads, "What if this Optimus maybe becoming evil thing is a part of Hasbro's plan to make Bumblebee the main protagonist? I'd be indifferent to the choice, as I love both characters in most shows and movies they are in. Optimus was showing a bit of his dark side in AOE, but then again, who wouldn't? Say Optimus comes back to Earth evil, maybe under a Decepticon control or maybe on his own terms. Bumblebee has to defeat him and rise up as the new protagonist. I don't know, just a thought. Maybe if it has the former option, Optimus wouldn't trust himself as a leader anymore. He would have to bestow the responsibility onto Bumblebee. So I thought this was a really cool comment, but I do want to backtrack a little bit for some people may not be familiar with this theory of Bumblebee becoming the main protagonist. Basically, there's this idea going around that I personally believe is basically going on or is going to happen in Transformers, where Bumblebee is eventually going to become the protagonist, and Hasbro is going to start, and I think has already started, to move Optimus into the background a little bit. Now, Optimus is still very much at the forefront within the filmverse and within many of the toy lines. Nevertheless, what we're seeing with Robots in Disguise is for the first time we have Bumblebee as the leader of the Autobots, and Optimus more as a supporting character to Bumblebee. In the first half of the show, he didn't even make many appearances. Now, I still think we're going to get Optimus toys and all of that, and I think he'll probably always still be in the stories. And I can't speak for everyone when I say this, but one of the reasons I think Hasbro is going to do this eventually, and I think they're already working on it, is basically they're planning for what they're going to do when Peter Cullen basically can no longer do the voice of Optimus, whether he passes on or ends up retiring. I mean, he could still do the voice for a very long time down the road, but I think Hasbro's starting to kind of think ahead. Whereas if they were like where they were back with Dark of the Moon and Transformers Prime, you know, if Peter Cullen just was one day like, I don't want to voice Optimus anymore, I think they'd be in big trouble, because in two of their main forms of media, they have Peter Cullen as the voice of Optimus, and you can't just replace Peter Cullen at this point. I think eventually, you know, they would be able to get other voice actors for Optimus, but probably not in the films, and probably not in the Transformers Prime continuity. In any case, I think it's going to be a kind of hard thing to pull off, so they're going to push other characters into the forefront. I don't want to say everyone else has that exact idea of how things will play out, but it does seem to be a theory floating around. I don't think they're going to be getting Optimus out of the story anytime soon. I think they're just going to step up the role of some other characters. I think Optimus is still going to be in the forefront, and I don't think the whole Nemesis Prime arc, if it does happen, might not happen, but if it does, I don't think that's going to be the lead up into Optimus moving more into the shadows, no pun intended. I think it will happen eventually, but I don't think it's going to be this soon. Now, in regards to the way that Optimus may be turned evil, as I've said, you know, I think it's a possibility. A lot of people, you know, think he's going to get maybe possessed by Dark Energon, turned into Nemesis Prime. I don't think it's going to be the Decepticons to do this, as I kind of stated in answering the previous question, because they don't really seem like they're setting up the Decepticons as the big bads at this point, especially not on Optimus's end of the story. We'll probably see the guys on Earth fighting them a little bit, but I don't think that's going to be what's happening with Optimus, and I don't think Optimus would come back to Earth like evil just basically by his own will. I mean, yeah, he was kind of brutal in Age of Extinction, but in any case, I don't think he would turn on the rest of the Autobots or humanity in general, especially considering the way things were kind of resolved in Age of Extinction. Maybe the way things were in the middle of the film, but not at this point in time. If Optimus were to go evil, let's say the Quintessons turned him into Nemesis Prime, unintentionally gets in touch with some Dark Energon, something of the sort, I do think it's more probable that he's going to come back from that. They wouldn't kill him off like that, and as the comment mentioned, that he wouldn't really trust himself so well, so he steps down and kind of gives more responsibility to Bumblebee. Now, I could see them doing something like that, maybe not at this point in time, but, you know, basically Optimus goes bad for a little while, they don't kill him off, he comes back from it, and he just doesn't feel really comfortable in that position anymore. I don't think it would make a whole lot of sense for him to pass it on to Bumblebee, like, logically, but they probably would, you know, do that just because Bumblebee is a popular character, so I could definitely see that as a possibility, and Bumblebee will probably do some maturing throughout the films. I mean, he has him from Prime to Robots in Disguise, so, you know, maybe they'll do something like that. And I'm going to kind of wrap things up here for this video. A shorter Q&A, only 2 questions, probably the majority of the questions I'll answer on this bit of news we've had until we have some more, unless there's some questions about Lennox, the possibility of Sideswipe returning, just because a lot of them seem to kind of cross over. You know, is Optimus going to turn evil? What is a Dark Energon? The Quintessons, what's the whole stuff with the Last Night mean? You know, a lot of it kind of crosses over, so I think I kind of covered it all in these last 2 Q&As. Of course, if you guys have any additional questions, you can drop them off in the comment section below. One thing I would like to address, not in regards to commentary videos, but in regards to figure reviews for those who keep up with my figure reviews. I usually upload them on Fridays. A lot of people did give me requests for figure reviews back in a video I did like maybe 2 months ago or something of the sorts, and I did write down all of those requests. Most of them are figures I can review and as I own them, but the reason I haven't got those out is just because I got way more requests than I was expecting, which is cool, but right now at the current pace I'm not going to be able to like get a ton of them out. I do want to get all the requests answered, but it might take a little bit longer, and no one's complained about it, but I did kind of want to update you guys on what's going on there. The thing is, right now I only publish 1 figure review a week, so it's going to be a little bit of a slow pace, as basically I do 2 commentary videos per week, then 1 figure review, and I feel pretty comfortable with that right now. The thing with figure reviews is that I'm still fairly new to them, and I try to keep the finished video under 13 minutes, but usually the recorded video is like 40 minutes long or something like that, just because in the process of recording the review I make a lot of mistakes, so that's why they come off as like so choppy and stuff, because I'm cutting stuff out. I want to get to the point where I can just kind of do them in a one and done, like maybe 2 takes or something like that, and if I can start doing them, like filming them at that kind of pace, editing won't take that much, and then I might be able to upload 2 figure reviews a week, and I would really like to do that to get all of the requests covered, but right now I haven't mastered that, and I don't want to spend like all the time working on like 4 videos for the channel, especially because I do work another job, and I would like to start a second channel, not necessarily related to Transformers, just talk about other things, stuff like that. Hopefully bring in a little bit of ad revenue from that too, and basically 2 reviews a week, if they're going to be like nicely cut and, you know, under 13 minutes so they're not too long, would be a lot to do. I do want to get to that point, and once again, thanks for all the review requests. I really appreciate it. I like going back through all my older Transformers, looking at them, all that kind of stuff, especially reviewing some obscure characters like Cybertron Buzzsaw is always pretty fun, which I just reviewed recently. Anyways, that's all I have to say for now. Speaking of figure reviews, commentary videos, you can go to my channel if you enjoyed this video and check out a lot of my other content, a whole bunch of Transformers stuff, from Transformers 5 prediction videos, news videos as well, some stuff on the Titans Return line, to Car versus Hasbro videos, you know, image comparisons of the different figures, of course figure reviews, and if you go to my older videos you can find some stop motions and stuff like that too, which I never really mastered stop motion, but if you're into it you can check those out. You might enjoy some of the videos. Also, keep up with the channel for more regular Transformers commentary videos, and you can follow me on Twitter for more regular updates. Anyways, that's all I have to say for now. Thanks for watching, stay tuned, and have a good one guys. I'll see you soon.